Welcome back to Good Day. Right now, your vegetable garden should be overflowing.
You've probably been eating fresh tomatoes, lettuce, and other veggies fresh from the garden, but do you have garden envy? I definitely do. I do steal some snacks out of the Good Day garden.
That was you.
Yes, like
That's
a little
rabbit.
Peter Rabbit. Yes.
We have Jessica Greiser from the Lucas Soil and Water Conservation District with an event that will give you the Gardening Basics 101, and we also have some fun little tips and tricks too.
Yes, so we have a Gardening 101 class this week. Registration is still open, so it's really designed for the beginning gardener or someone who's wanting to learn how to garden and grow their own food. So we'll cover a lot of different things in the hour and a half, but then they get to go home with a tray full of seeds that they've planted that hopefully will continue to grow for them.
My family and friends always make fun of the amount of house plants that I have because I'm very good at that because you don't have the weather variable. I know people are opposite. Some people do much better with outside plants, but this is something that I think someone like me who is very intimidated by growing things outdoors, I've certainly tried. But the only thing I think I've been able to master is basil.
Yeah, herbs are a great place to start.
Okay.
And this fall you can plant some herbs. You can also plant greens. So those are all things that will do well as the temperatures start to cool down and we get more rain in the forecast, hopefully. So yes, I think, people think spring is the only time you can plant, but really you can plant throughout the season and even into the fall, just knowing the climate and the weather and kind of the area that you have at your house.
I think too, one thing I'd like to find out more about is how much you should plant, because it seems like maybe you'd either be waiting all summer for like 2 tomatoes or you would have so much that you have to give it away.
Yes, so that's one thing that we'll be talking about is, where you want to have your garden, how much you should be planting of each variety in order to, maximize whatever harvest that you want. But also, growing through the season, it's not just that one-time planting in the spring. You can do it throughout the year and continue to have that harvest, basil throughout the whole year rather than, just the heat of the summer and then it kind of dies off.
And you made a good point, because I was going to ask, why not have this in the spring when we typically think, okay, this is when we need to start growing, but exactly that, we can grow throughout a good portion of the year.
Yeah, exactly. And we do actually have this Gardening 101 class in the spring as well, so kind of hitting it at the bookends of the season. But yeah, I mean, fall is kind of a time when you think you're slowing down, but really you can continue to grow.
So I understand people are going to be coming away with kind of a flat of vegetables that they can start to grow and monitor at home throughout the fall and the winter?
Exactly, yes. Well, so the idea is we'll first talk about soil health and what you need in your soil to grow. And then we'll talk about site selection, the variety, understanding how to read a seed packet, those sorts of things. And then they'll learn how to sow the seed in a tray. And then the idea is, though, that those will sprout and they'll be able to actually put them in the ground or in a pot outside still yet this fall. So not necessarily over winter, but even still, into September, October.
What do you think the most challenging thing is for people to learn and understand about this?
I think, I know coming from my own experience is understanding my space and what will grow well. I don't have a lot of sun in my backyard, so it's kind of taking all of those factors in and understanding, okay, what do I have existing in my yard or, even on a balcony, and then what can I grow from there?
Do we need any equipment to do this at home over these darker, gloomier months that we're about to get into? Like a special light?
Well, so that, yes, if you don't have a lot of sunny windows in your house and you want to, start seeds, whether it's now or in next spring, like in February or March, grow lights are something that can help that germination, so getting those seeds to actually sprout. And those are things, I know I got mine online, or you can get them. I know a lot more, home centers have garden starting equipment. So it's easily accessible, but it's just knowing what to get, and we'll cover that in the class too.
Now, you mentioned reading certain things on the seed packet. I'm really curious. I'm going to grab one of these. Like, what are some things that I need to be looking for in a seed packet?
Yeah, so a lot of times, for me, what I pay close attention to is the depth that you want to plant the seed. So not planting
Oh.
it too deep or too shallow, because that can affect how it sprouts. But also the spacing, because again, you
See
don't want to
that.
overcrowd and then you get competition or the plants don't get enough airflow. So those are, I think, the two most important things are that depth of seed planting
Okay.
and then the spacing.
And I think watering is always a challenge for people too.
Yes.
They either overwater or underwater.
Yes, because there are like plants like thyme, oregano, those don't like to be too wet. They don't like to have a lot of water versus your basils or your tomatoes. Those like to have, they
pretty
need
much
a lot
every
more
day
water.
for
Yeah,
that.
Follow the instructions.
yeah.
Well, this event is going to be happening, what is it, Thursday,
It's
the
this
6th?
Thursday, yep.
Okay, at 5:30 to 7 over at the Lucas County Soil and Water Conservation District. And it's $10, but what are people going to walk away with?
Yeah, so it's $10 a household. So if you and a partner wanted to come or bring your kids, you walk away with the information, the knowledge, probably some handouts, because that's what we like to give people, resources, and then a tray planted with some sort of green or basil or kale or something that they want to try to grow this fall.
Cool. Jessica, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Thank you.